Yeah, and I think, like I said, it affects everybody else because everybody wants to go after the champ, so you have to
Right.
step it up, and not everybody's going to be at the level like Sarah or Natalia or one of these competing. She's going to be doing both Tampa and Texas. Uh, next month. That is Zama Bintu number three. You know, it's just this is the problem. I think the problem is some people say is who comes to the show it makes a difference. But if the judges are telling you, we want more size, we want more this, but not setting the guidelines, say, okay, we want you to come in with a better taper. We want you to come in not as fuller in the delts, but still have good conditioning. If those guidelines, because I follow like Tyler Mann, he's the grandson of
Yeah.
GM Mannion, and also
Uh-huh.
he's always posting about the guidelines for all the other divisions except for women's bodybuilding, physique, and figure.
He leaves figure out too.
No, he
He
don't.
doesn't
He
post the
don't.
guidelines for figure.
No guidelines for figure.
Uh, a lot of them are really laser focused on bikini right now, and
And
sometimes it
well,
gives the vibe that they're trying to phase some of the bigger ladies divisions out. Which is why it was such a shock that there were 25 in a stacked lineup in Atlanta of women's physique competitors.
yeah, because I think with this year, I think some ladies will still want to get ready. That's why they wouldn't jumping on to earlier shows. It takes a lot of time to get ready, especially we got to bring a certain level of conditioning. You don't want to come in soft. You don't want to come in, at your best. It's just not good to look there and come on stage and say, you know what, I didn't give it my all. And
Right.
and I come in just as not as the top level that I want to be. And also the big focus is the wellness division. That's the new the new kid on the block. I know some ladies who was jumped from other divisions like figure and even bikini and physique over to wellness. A friend of mine, she competed in figure first, and then she got a pro card as a physique competitor. She competed in women's bodybuilding, and she went back to physique. Now she's planning to make her debut this year in wellness. You
Yeah.
know, and I think because they're popular division because they have that aesthetic to it. It's very, I think for the everyday person, very feminine and pleasing. Or as I call them, bikini and wellness. They're the TNA divisions. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah. Because I know like the prize money for women's bodybuilding and physique was like I think like 25 for the first place 25,000,
Yeah.
2,500. While the wellness girls, I think the prize was like I think it was 4,000. Lady who I
It was
met, while
$4,000. I
4,000
heard
because
comments about that backstage from all the other girls.
where you got to remember this company Wolfpack that sponsored the show. They put up the money for wellness. They say they're gonna put up all the money for the wellness shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing is if like I said, it's like you see like Sarah's what she's doing over at the Texas Pro, where she's putting up $15,000 her own money because she's a rich man's
Which
wife.
was really cool. That was
Yeah,
really awesome.
and also she's putting up another like $1,000 for up to the top 10. And
Yeah.
also she's doing this.
Which is awesome.
She's offering to fly in any new pros. Hey, you still now you're no longer a new pro.
Right.
Yeah, because now you already you got your feet wet. But I don't know. Maybe you can check it out, see if they still offer or not. Me neither. I know. But this is where I think if more sponsorship for your divisions and other divisions were able, I think it would help more. Especially you can think about it. Instead again, it costs you ladies more to compete compared to the men.
It
Guys
does.
will get, and this is truth about the men's bodybuilding division. It's the bottom bitch. If you know the pimping game, it's the bottom bitch. It's the one that always will get the money in the sponsorship. Arnold just announced he's going to put up like he used to buy $500,000 for the men's bodybuilding division at the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. But you kicked out physique, women's bodybuilding figure. But where you get the other money from? And you can't say it wasn't there. And they always use the excuse saying, okay, because no one likes the division. But sometimes some people go to shows and they even walk out. I had a friend of mine, he went to New York Pro. People started walking out to the bikini girls. You know, people want to see the real muscle, and that's your ladies. Here we have a comment. This is from a man, uh, Russ G says, okay, have to go. I have a client coming over for a photo shoot. Wish you a bright future, Megan. I would love to do a photo shoot with you if you're going to be in Vegas. Oh yeah, shout out, thank you. He does
Okay.
photography. He lives in right here. He lives the next door in South Carolina. He in Charleston. I'll send you his link. You want to check him out, and maybe you might want to do some photo sessions here and there because that helps your social media, especially your new.
Definitely. And he's an amazing photographer anyway.
Yeah.
I love the
Uh,
work.
Yeah, because you were in Atlanta, and one of the biggest ladies around who does a lot of photo shoots. That is Anna Rivicchio. I got to meet her when she was in Santa Ana back in 2022. She has Muscle Angels, and they do a lot of photographies. I also interviewed Sean Nelson. He runs his own Sean Nelson Photographies. Also, he works for her biceps. And that important for you for your social media when you do photo sessions? Who you want to work with?
It hasn't been a thought up until this point, but it will be from this point forward. About having a good photographer and good photos to post.
Yeah, because I think one thing it helps in maybe getting you more following, also sponsors where you get more people that follow you. Sponsors are like, you know what, she has a look. I think people like her. Maybe have her as a brand ambassador. Here we
Yeah.
got this is from Rush says, that is if you do photo shoots. I say, yeah, he said, if you do photo shoots, yeah, you want to work with him, he's cool. So after the show, this is how often you ask you ladies. After the show, when everything was said and done, and I know you're a foodie, Megan. Where's that thing that was calling you? That thing you desired the most? What's the thing you wanted to eat?
What was I wanting to eat?
Yes.
After the show, I ate a rack of ribs.
That's a
Lick
new
the
one.
sauce off my fingers, a rack of ribs, and some cheesecake.
Well, the cheesecake's not too new. I know quite a few ladies. They love either. It's usually this is the go-to. It's either pizza, burgers, fries,
Nope. I don't care about any of
donuts.
that. You give me a rack of ribs and then like some street tacos and cheesecake.
I know somebody said they love sushi.
Yeah, I use that as a refeed occasionally in prep, and I love sushi, but I wanted some ribs.
Yeah, that's the thing is also like I said, diet is one part about the sport. We said again, and you got kids, and do they like to eat what mommy eats, or you have to certain different?
I make them their own little special meals, but it's still healthier food. It's still whole foods and not processed stuff. I'm not saying that they don't ever eat chicken nuggets, but it's mostly like beef and steak and shrimp and chicken. I just prepare it a little differently than what I prepare mine.
That's good. That's good to prepare food because most people think about it. This is why I often hear people like sometimes bodybuilding food is like a lot of broccoli and dried chicken and quinoa, but some people say you get the right seasonings, not too much sugar, not too much salt. You have to. And one thing is also catch your macros. That's the thing that's always talked about a lot. Do you have your own nutritionist or somebody?
I do. My coach handles my nutrition. So, like in the off season, I count macros so I can kind of make anything that I want that fits in my macros as long as I hit my protein and my carbs and whatnot. But I swap to a meal plan when I'm in prep. That way, there's no room for error. Not 1 gram. Everything, every box is checked to a T.
Yeah, you got to account for everything because processed
Everything.
foods.
It gets very overly specific.
Yeah, because processed foods, I don't eat too many processed foods like I used to. I do try to cut back a little bit, but sometimes it be calling me, man. It be like something sweet, something salty. Like the other day I was out, I got myself a sausage dog with chili and some
Yeah.
taters. It's just I just got from the laundromat and I said, what, I need something to eat. I was hungry. Here, this is my man, Dan Espinoza. Shout out to my man, Dan Espinoza, aka the head of the king, the warden of the West. Yes, my brother here. He says sardines and mustard.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I can get on board with that.
I don't think I would too. I can't remember the last time I eat a sardine. I mean,
Mm-mm.
So so what's the plan now? You just get off stage. What you made your pro debut, so you want to do a couple of shows for the year. So what's the plan now?
My plan is to reverse, make my improvements. I really need to work on bringing my back up and building some glutes this off season. But the most important thing to me, because even though I'm a bodybuilder, I'm still a mom first and a wife. I'm pouring more time into my kids and into my husband. We're going to the lake this weekend. We're going to surf and wakeboard and may even sneak and have a cheeseburger on Saturday. Just living a normal life as much as possible, Because I feel like my kids see the worst of me in prep. They see me tired. They see me hungry. We're always running. I'm always posing. I'm always on the phone. I'm always doing something. And now it's time for me to pour some more time into them because they deserve it.
It's time to be a mom and a wife. That's important, because listen,
It is.
bodybuilding is going to be here.
Yes, always.
Yeah. If it was a sport with which you really make a living out of it, I can understand you want to keep doing it. But it's a hobby sport.
It
You
is, and
know,
it's about balance. I try to find a balance between home life and bodybuilding. I try to keep my competing confined to a certain time of the year, a certain part, the first half of the year, so I still have the second half of the summer and the holidays where I don't have to be so specific and I can spend more time with my family and not be so strict. So that's kind of how I've managed to walk that line of balance.
yeah, it's good to have that balance, to be an athlete, to be a wife and mother, to enjoy what you do in life, but also have a commitment to something. Like I
Yeah,
said, there's so much sacrifice you have to make. This sport is mentally, physically, financially, it's
draining.
draining. I know. I've talked to this quite often with the ladies, and they like to say, "Yeah, remember, like guys out here, like there is a like when I have a lady out here like yourself, guys get excited because you know what." There's a small saying, "You ladies rock hard, we're rock hard," and it's just about y'all. It's just something different about you. It's not the idea of what women should be. Women supposed to be. I'm from North Carolina. We're supposed to be more soft, more feminine. But you have a look. You come in. You're on stage. You're dehydrated. You're tired. You have to. I know I was watching the prejudging. They keep changing you up and moving around, and there's so much to the sport. But to do this sport, even though there's not a lot of money in it, there's so much time to take out of your life. You have to love it.
You have to love it. You have to have a passion for it. And all you question yourself the entire prep, the whole 16 to 20 weeks. Why do I do this? I'm so tired. I can't sleep. I'm hungry. I'm tired and cranky. And then that moment when you get backstage with all these other women, it just fits. You get your why. It's just a wonderful community. It's like a sisterhood back there. It all makes sense at that point in time. It all
Yeah,
comes together.
it's just good that you have that bond with somebody that has that same, passion like you do, and also